Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the next episode of Joe Kelley's Psychedelic Experience. What's going on with you, my friend? Your old pal Joe here, checking in with you on a motherfucking Monday. Bright and early Monday morning. How's it going? How's it hanging? Listen, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you're doing better than you ever thought you possibly could be doing. And if you're not, hey, that's all right. But do yourself and everybody else a favor and get your shit together. All right? Fifth month of 2023, it's already here. We're almost a third of the way through it. Might as well get your fucking shit together. What else you gonna be doing? Nothing. Not having your shit together time and time again. Please, brothers, sisters, I think it's time you get your shit together. All right? Get it together. No better time than now. Hey, real quick, some shows coming up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Some stand-up comedy shows coming to your world. I'll be in Irvine, California, May 17th at the Improv with my good buddy Aaron Weber. I'll also be in Ontario, California on the 18th. Same thing, Improv with my good buddy Aaron Weber. Then, the 19th. We're flying the fuck back to Tennessee. I'm going to get in my car, and then I'm going to drive out to goddamn Murray, Kentucky. Murray, Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen. Big Apple Cafe. I'll be headlining that one. Come on through. End of the month. Sunday, May 28th. I'll be at Ale Ray's Gastro Pub in Knoxville. I'm bringing my buddy Monty Mitchell with me to that one. The summer, June and July, little light at the moment. There's a couple local shows in Nashville I'll be popping in on. But then August, we're back to business, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be in Louisville, Kentucky, the 10th through the 11th with my good buddy Aaron Weber, the 10th through the 12th. And then we'll be in Cleveland, the 19th and the 20th at Hilarities. Also going to be in Pittsburgh, as well as Boston in August. Then fucking goddamn Iowa, Des Moines in September, Seattle, I'll be there too. And then we're looking at Bridgeport, Connecticut, as well as Appleton, Wisconsin in November. And then I'm going to be down in Tampa in December before Christmas. So, back end of the year, picking up. Gonna be hot. Gonna be tired. Gonna be busy. Go to joekellycomedy.com for all the upcoming shows, my friends. Things are picking up. I'm very tired. Sorry this podcast is late there, boys and girls. That's my bad. That's my bad, all right? It was a long weekend, a lot of driving. I got up early. I was like, I'm going to knock this thing out, but boy, oh boy, this weekend took it out of me. So that's my apologies. I'm sorry it's not as early as it usually is, but goddamn it, we're still here on a fucking Monday. So what the fuck else you want from me, people? How was your weekend, my friend? How has your whole fucking week been? Have you been having fun? What have you been getting into? All sorts of good things, I'm sure. I'm sure you're doing all sorts of good things out there, you know? Taking care of yourself, having fun with other people, being kind, probably helping old people cross the street. I bet that's what you guys did all weekend long, doing your civic duty to the elderly in this great country, because no one really gives a shit about them, you know? So you might as well be out there on the weekend, on your days off, just helping old fucks cross the street for no goddamn reason, you know? Until you get that crazy old fucking Vietnam vet who's got his PTSD and he shanks you because he thinks you're one of them, the enemy. I don't really, I don't know words for Vietnamese people other than slurs. So I'm just going to say the enemy. All right. But anyway, you gotta be cautious out there when you're walking with the elderly. But fucking, I hope you did. I was in goddamn Arkansas this past weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, I was down in Little Rock, did a couple of shows down there at the Comedy Joint Theater. What a fun time it was. Took my buddy Monty Mitchell with me. We haven't had a weekend together in quite some time. And good times all around, people. If you came out to the show, thank you very much. Some people were out from TikTok and maybe the podcast. I don't fucking know. But maybe you started listening to the podcast after the shows. Good times all around, you know. Had to compete with Cinco de Mayo. They didn't stand a fucking chance. We had a whole fucking 14 people at the Friday show. Dude, I love it. You know, it's fun going out with Aaron because Aaron Weber. My good friend Aaron Weber, I think you all know who I'm talking about. Because he's getting kind of famous, you know? And he's doing these mainstream clubs that already have like followings. Like even if people aren't necessarily there to see Aaron, the clubs in and of themselves have built-in communities of people who just enjoy going to comedy shows, you know, if that makes any fucking sense. So there's always people at these clubs. And then anytime I go out on my own, there's never anybody fucking there. Because I'm doing like these not traditional comedy clubs, you know. I'm just doing, well, I guess we sold out the one in Flint, but that's in Flint because that was at home. But yeah, I enjoy the dynamic of getting to do my own shit. I also like smaller crowds, people. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that on the podcast. A lot of people dream real big with comedy and they want to do arenas and like 5,000 seat theaters. And it's, dude, I like like 150 people at the most, you know? I like smaller rooms. Bigger rooms are fun. It gets louder. People laugh more. Let's say 300 instead of 150. But it like fucking, I just like smaller rooms and smaller crowds as far as stand-up. There's more of a connection there. You don't feel so disconnected. When you do like a bigger, like a theater or even like a bigger room and the stage is real far away from the people, comedy clubs, it's like the people are right the fuck there, you know what I mean? And at theaters and shit, there's a disconnect. It seems more like it's more of a performance vibe than necessarily doing stand-up, in my opinion. To me, anyway. To me, I like people being close and it being more intimate and really connecting with people rather than just putting on a show and almost making it seem like the audience isn't involved. But I don't know. Anyway, we had fucking 14 people there on Friday, whatever the fuck it was. But the show was still great. We made it through. They had me doing like an hour. It was absolutely fantastic. We got down there. What is it about cabbage that makes a taco so expensive? Can someone explain that to me? Because, you know, tacos are, the overhead on making tacos is very, very cheap. But for some reason, once you start putting cabbage on it and spicy mayonnaise and cabbage, all of a sudden the price of the taco goes up 250%, you know? Monty and I get into Little Rock, and we're like, let's get some tacos before we check into the hotel, which was a whole nother fucking thing. We'll get to that in a second. Good Lord. And it's like, there's a taco place right by the fucking hotel. So it's like, okay, let's go there. You know, you think a taco is going to be like $2.50. We got 5 tacos between the two of us, and it was $35. Someone explain that shit to me. And one of the tacos was free. So we paid for 4 tacos, still fucking $276, you know? It was because they all had cabbage and dipping sauces. Like not to dip in, but on top of it. Just fucking salad dressing. We know what you did. You fucking mixed sriracha with mayonnaise. And you go, oh, it's our super secret spicy sauce. And it's like, no, it's not. It's standard fucking sriracha with mayonnaise. But for some reason, that takes a taco from maybe $2.50. And that's like a high-end taco, you know what I mean? To goddamn $6.32 a piece. What the fuck? What the fuck? I get that it's not about the taco. It's about paying the people there and keeping the lights on the fucking place. That's what you pay for, people, at the restaurant when you're eating the foods. You're not paying for the food. You're paying for the goddamn business to stay open. You're paying the bills of the owner of the company. You're paying the employees. You're keeping the lights on. You're buying toilet paper and goddamn straws. That's where all the fucking taco money goes. Because when you're buying fucking 120 pounds of chicken at a time, you get a pretty good discount on that shit, you know? So I guess we all figured it out. We just figured it out together, ladies and gentlemen, why the fucking tacos with the cabbage and the mayonnaise are goddamn $96 a piece. And it's because you got to keep white people having jobs. That's the other thing about it too. It's them white folk taco places where they're like, oh, it's a Korean barbecue taco. And there isn't even any Koreans or fat barbecue artists or goddamn Mexicans in the whole goddamn place. It's just white folks putting cabbage on tacos. Know your value. Know your value, I suppose. And the white people making tacos seem to think their value is pretty fucking high. But it was all, well worth. Listen, the tacos did taste great. Okay? They tasted absolutely fantastic. I just would like to know what it was about the cabbage and the mayonnaise, the pink mayonnaise, that makes it goddamn, sometimes orange mayonnaise, that makes it 72-36 for each taco. That's all. Here's the other thing with the hotel people. This was a fucking nightmare. I guess Arkansas got hit with a tornado sometime last week. So they were running like Red Cross food drops out of this hotel for the weekend we were there. First of all, get the tacos. Tacos are fine. We go to check into the hotel. And I know we're not getting 2 rooms because it's a smaller club, but usually the clubs will get a discount on the room they get you. Anyway, I go to check in. I got Monty with me. They go, okay, we got you a room for a king bed. And I'm like, oh boy, that's not going to be good because there are 2 of us. Do you have any rooms that have 2 beds? And he said no. And I said, well, do you have like maybe any pull-out beds or anything like that? He said no. And I was like, oh boy, okay. He said, we're all booked because the tornado hit and Red Cross is dropping off food as well as people or something like that. So it's like, well, fuck. So I go get Monty. He's outside smoking. We go, okay, let's go take a look at the room. Maybe we can make this work somehow. We go up. It's just 1 bed. We definitely are not going to make it work. We have slept in the same bed before. Listen, Monty and I have done comedy on the road many, many times together. And neither of us have been thriving in the comedy industry. So sometimes you got to share a bed with your buddy. That's all. That's all it is. Don't get no funny business, guys. Or don't think no funny stuff. You're like, Joe, you're having gay sex with Monty, aren't you, on the road? That's why you like going out of town so much, so you can go be a gay guy with your friends. No, it's not. No, I'm not living no Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde life, I'm not a cool, booty-eating man in Nashville, and then I'm out on the road having gay sex with my friends. You guys are out of your mind for even thinking that's a possibility. Sometimes you just got to sleep in a bed with your buddy because you both got no money. You don't have an extra $180 fucking dollars for a goddamn room, especially after you just dropped $275 on the tacos. So we were in a situation where it's like, boy, we got to figure something out. So I hit up the booker, the fellow who booked me for the weekend. I was like, hey man, we only got 1 bed in this room, and I talked to the desk. They said they don't have anything. Can you figure, what am I going to do here? Can you get us another room? They said they only had 1 more room available in the whole hotel. And it was a single king bed, but it was like an executive suite. So it had a pull-out couch. But we were talking about getting that room, and he's like, that's like $225 a night. And it's like, what? Good Lord. Anyway, hit up the booker. He's like, let me see what I could get figured out. 20 minutes later, all of a sudden, we got a room with 2 beds. It was that fucking easy. For some reason, it wasn't with us. For some reason, that fella at the desk said, we can't help you in any way, shape, or form. And then as soon as the guy who booked the room fucking gives him a call, all of a sudden they find a bed. All of a sudden they find a room with 2 beds, And it definitely wasn't sold out the whole fucking weekend. There was nobody in that hotel all weekend. None at all. Whatsoever. We did get some Red Cross food Saturday night after we got back from the show. So, we partook in the in the free meal that was a goddamn country fried steak with some green beans as well as some cheesy rice, I believe is what we had. Because we walked in to the hotel room Saturday night, and there's like, I guess one of the front desk guys, a different front desk guy, a much more helpful front desk guy, was like, hey guys, we got a whole bunch of food we're about to just throw away in case you want to snag a couple of these trays and take them up to the room with you. And we're like, fuck yeah, we will do that. You know, ate some poor people food, everybody. And then there were still probably 25 other boxes that were going to go uneaten and thrown into the trash. So for the hotel being sold out and everyone being there because their fucking house got destroyed by a tornado and they're all looking for help from Red Cross, nobody ate that food. And there certainly wasn't, there certainly were plenty of available rooms. But they were doing construction on the place, trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they were completely full of shit. And we got it taken care of. That was going to be a situation. I always feel like the front desk, they just lie sometimes, where it's like they just don't want to deal with it. And they're always like, no, we're sold out. And it's like, you're definitely not sold out. You know, it was a La Quinta Inn. You got to go to the fucking, you got to stay at the Hiltons and stuff like that when you're looking for a little bit of service. Not the La Quinta that's under construction. But again, they had a deal with the club, so the club booked the room. That's why they had a deal, because it's because they got a bunch of fucking scam artists working at the goddamn place, you know? Oh, we got it all figured out. Shows were great. Saturday was fun too. The show, there were more people, but somehow the show was a little bit worse. Just because there were a group of 5 middle-aged women who talked for the whole show, talked through everybody's set. Talk through absolutely everybody's set. You know, there were just this group of older black women, and boy, oh boy, they would not shut the fuck up for anybody, for anything. They just kept talking and didn't understand. They wouldn't listen long enough to understand what you were talking about. And then they'd just be saying words and shit. It wasn't, I don't know. It sucked, but it wasn't that bad. It was a terrible show. I know people started to get frustrated about 10 minutes into my set. So that at that point, it's like 50 minutes of them ladies just fucking yapping. So people started to get a little bit annoyed, you know. Man, I wish I could figure out how to word this correctly. But I was doing a joke, and I finished the joke. And then one of the black ladies yelled something, and it had nothing to do with the joke or whatever. And she's like, she was trying to help the joke. Anyway, this little sassy black guy, he finally had enough, and he piped back to her. He's like, whatever word she said wasn't a verb, and I guess he thought I had been saying verbs the whole joke. So he's like, that's not even a verb. And then I was like, none of those were verbs. Like, nobody's listening at this show. What the fuck are we doing here? You know. But beautiful room, fun shows. Monty did well. I did well. I think I'm going to get some clips out of those black ladies talking, though. I do know that. God, they just would not shut the fuck up. And you can't be, that's the thing where it's like, if it's a sold out room, if it's 300 people in there, you can kick 5 people out and not have any issues. But when it's 18 people, you kick 5 people out. That's a big portion of the crowd. And also, if they were to try and kick them out, they wouldn't have taken it well. You could just tell. They were having their girls' night out. It was all about them, and we weren't going to ruin their fucking night with our dumbass comedy show that they wanted to come to, you know. So it is what it is. But goddamn, that was a rough one. That was it just was annoying more than anything else. It's like, if somebody's talking about what you're talking about, that can still be annoying. But at least they're with you. At least everybody's still on the same page, you know? Rather than me talking, them not understanding, and them just saying nonsense, and then trying to address that nonsense to figure out what the fuck they're talking about, then you just lose everybody. Because Everybody else is trying to listen to the joke. Then these other people are talking, so they're distracting them. And then they're yelling words that don't have anything to do with the joke. So they're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on too. Inside baseball. Just a general rule of thumb. If you go to a comedy show, just shut your fucking mouth. Unless you're asked a question, just shut your fucking mouth. It's such a simple concept, you know? It's such an easy concept. But comedy is one of those things where people come to the show, but it's still like their night. You know what I mean? Especially if they don't know who they're going to see. It's just a random fucking guy. Some fucking acid head, you know, on a Saturday in Little Rock. It's like, oh, we'll go do this fucking comedy show and see how it goes. But no, you don't. You know what I mean? You don't do that other places. You don't fucking go to... I'm sure people weren't trying to fucking disrupt Taylor Swift this weekend. You know what I mean? She's going all over the place. The very ugly and untalented Taylor Swift is out and about doing these arena shows, you know? And I'm sure no one's trying to fuck up her show or go, this is my night. They're going there to participate in the fucking thing, in the show. But comedy is one of those things, dude, especially in Nashville, too. A lot of bachelorette parties down here that come to comedy shows. I don't know why. I really don't know why. If you're trying to celebrate yourself, don't go to something where you're supposed to be celebrating somebody else. Or not even celebrating, but just it's not supposed to be about you for a little bit. It's only an hour. And if that is too much for you to handle, which I understand, if you're getting married or something like that, or it's your birthday, it's a big fucking deal. It is all about you. So don't go to a place where you can't have it all about you and then get mad when somebody goes, hey, this shit ain't about you. You're like, it's my birthday. It's like, you're 37. It doesn't matter anymore about your birthday. It hasn't mattered in a long time. The truth is it never fucking mattered. But people pretended that it did so you could feel good and have a little bit of esteem as a child. But it never fucking mattered. And now you're old. You're too old to be celebrating your birthdays. Nobody cares that you're getting married. Even half the people at the fucking wedding don't give a shit you're getting married. Let alone a room full of strangers who are at a fucking comedy show. Nobody cares about you. Nobody does. Especially a whole fucking room of strangers. So why? Why try and make it all about you? I don't understand. If I ever had a friend and it was like, it's your birthday, we're going somewhere, and they were acting like an asshole, you'd tell them, go, hey, I get it's your birthday, but shut the fuck up, dickhead. You know? But everybody just plays into it. They go, it's your special day. You can do no wrong on your birthday. Yes, you can. In fact, most people do. That's part of the birthday thing. When you get older, you get to be naughty. You know, you get to cut loose. You get to start drinking at 2 p.m. And usually you only drink once a week. But on your birthday, you're going to start all day. You're just going to get fucked up with your friends. And they're going to go, you're the best thing ever, no matter how awful you act. And you just don't need to be doing that. Because nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares at a certain point about your fucking birthday. That's why it's your birthday. And if the people forget about it, you're going to get upset. You're 43 years old. Why would you be upset that nobody gives a shit that you're getting older? To the point, you don't even like telling people your age, but you still want people to know it's your fucking birthday. You go, oh, it's my birthday. You go, how old are you? You go, oh, don't ask me that. Then don't tell me it's your fucking birthday, you idiot. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? You don't ask a person, a woman her age. It's like, shut the fuck up, lady. Why would you tell me it's your birthday then? You're old. You're old. That's what that means. Anybody who goes, oh, I'm not going to tell you my age, it means you're fucking old and you're washed up and you don't know how to accept it because you still want to pretend you're 20, but you're not. You're not. You're undesirable in your old age. Not because you aren't a sexy lady, just because your attitude and you want to pretend to be 20 and pretend that people give a shit about your fucking birthdays and your goddamn whatever, you know? Nobody gives a shit. If you're like a cancer survivor, yeah, we'll give it up for that. But also, don't make the whole show about you surviving cancer if you're an audience member, okay? I've never seen that happen, by the way. Nobody who's had real struggles in life or have real things to celebrate seem to ruin a comedy show. It's always people who got nothing going on going, I'm getting married and all my friends are dressed up like me. It's like, y'all look stupid. You know that, right? You look stupid. You're drinking. It's 11 in the morning and you're already drunk. You're all going to go cheat on your boyfriends and fucking fiancés and goddamn future husbands. And then you're going to go back to Fargo, North Dakota and pretend nothing happened. Come on now. What the fuck are we doing at these comedy shows? The Kentucky Derby was this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Did you all watch the Derby? I don't understand the Kentucky Derby. I don't understand it at all. I don't think I'm wealthy enough to understand the appeal of the horse thing. I've never owned a horse, but I don't understand. It's just, you go, you fucking get a suit. All the ladies wear a bunch of big dumbass hats with flowers. Everyone's drinking mint juleps. You know what the julep is? A mint julep, ladies and gents. A little bit of whiskey, I believe. A little bit of mint and a dash of julep, if I'm not mistaken. I worked at a spot in, I guess it was Nashville, at the the Belmead Plantation. I worked on a plantation once upon a time, people. There was a restaurant there. It wasn't like, you know, this wasn't back in the day. This is a modern plantation where it's where people go to get married and have brunch and walk around and go, wow, this place is really beautiful. It's like, yeah, it sure is. Don't forget, it's a plantation. Yeah, people do. But it was like a fancy joint, so they made a big deal out of the Kentucky Derby. So people would come and drink mint juleps on the Kentucky Derby day. But what is it? What does it all mean? Fucking riding horses. I saw the last race, some horse won. And a lot of people seemed happy. And I don't know why. I guess you bet on them and then you make money. And then I guess if your horse wins, you have that horse fuck other horses. Like you have that horse fuck the second place horse. Are they all dudes that run in the Derby? That's a question. Is it all male horses? If you have a lady horse, is she going to come in dead last every time? Do they have a lady derby? They should have a lady horse derby. I think the Kentucky Derby is a bit sexist because I don't think there's any lady horses in there, you know? There should be, even just for the sake, you know, equality is a good thing. They're going to come in last, but who cares? We should be seeing more lady horse, or they should just have their own derby. But then no one's going to they're not going to make enough money or whatever it is. The horses won't get paid enough. But nobody will watch it. They'll do a 13-minute lap. The stallions are doing it in 24 seconds. Doing a 13-minute fucking lady horse goddamn Kentucky Derby. No one's going to watch that shit. And then everyone will bitch about how they don't get enough money. And then one of the stallions will start fucking painting his mane pink, and then he'll start running in the lady race, and then he'll win, and then it'll be like, oh, that's a new lady world record. I bet. I'm going to start this movement, guys. I think this is a good idea. The lady Kentucky Derby. For the mares, it's called a mare, right? When it's a lady, and a stallion when it's a man. But I guess that's the idea with the winner. The winner is you got good genes, kid. You got good genes, so we're going to let you come to our farm and let you fuck our lady horse, you know? And then I guess you make money from that. You make money from horse cum. Is that what those people do? How'd you make all your fortune, sir? Horse cum, kid. Horse cum. Get in the horse cum business when you're young. It's a good investment. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Nice little passive income, you know? Just go jerk off some horses and fucking keep it in a jar and then sell it. Sell it on the black market. Go on the old, oh, I guess the Silk Road's not a thing anymore. You could just do it the good old, you know, get an LLC, you know, horse cum LLC, and then you sell horse cum to people. I don't know how it fucking works. I guess that's how the Derby has to work, right? What do you get from winning? You get money, right? But then people want to fuck your horse. Some people probably do, but they want the horse to fuck other horses too. Mr. Hands, y'all ever watch that video? There's a movie or a documentary called Zoo. It's about Mr. Hands. Mr. Hands used to like to get fucked in his butt by horses. And it used to be legal at some place, you know? You pay a little admission fee. It's like going to the amusement park for the day. Or it's like going to the zoo. I guess that's why the movie's called that. Except rather than looking at animals through cages, you get to have some close-up interactions and make love to them, or have them make love to you in the case of Mr. Hands. But I guess at the end of the day, the Derby seems like it's all about fucking, in my opinion. But I'm not a horse guy, so maybe you guys can let me know. Maybe some of you are horse people and you understand the culture surrounding horses. I just think it all has to do with cum. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong a couple times before. But if you got inside information on the Kentucky Derby, let your old pal Joe know, please. Okay? All right? If you could do that, I wouldn't mind it. Anyway, I didn't even care about the Derby. Monty wanted to watch the Derby for some fucking reason. Monty just likes, I don't understand the things he likes half the time. He likes Kentucky Derby, even though he doesn't. He likes NASCAR. I realize Monty and I have we think very, very differently. Monty's probably like my longest comedy friend. I've known Monty since I started. You know, like within weeks of starting, I knew Monty. Like we started to become friends or whatever. So I've known Monty for 10 years now. And I think maybe that's why we've gotten along as well as we have, because we are pretty different. Monty likes to accept things at face value. He's big on that. He's big on like, if you say you're doing something good, then you're just a good person and there's no ill will behind it. Whereas I'm the complete opposite, where I always think everybody's up to something, especially people who are doing good things, you know? I'm the complete fucking opposite. But Bonnie will just accept things and go, yes, the world is good and people are good and no one's doing anything wrong ever and everything is fair and how it's supposed to be. And I think it's the exact fucking opposite, you know? It's just like, I forget how we got on the conversation, but, you know, I always try and just to break him out of his thought patterns or whatever. So we started talking about like music or whatever. And it's like, you think every musician who has made a living off of making music is talented and good at what they do? Like, you don't think anybody's put in those positions because they fit a certain mold or may be able to have, an influencer or anything like that. They may have a certain type of influence to them. So it's like, oh, we need to elevate this person, despite how untalented they are, to a position of power, because not only can we use them as an industry or whatever it is, they can also use the public in our favor. You know what I mean? Does that make any fucking sense? Because Monty's just like, oh, people just play music and they get lucky and you fucking, you start playing music. But it's like, no, these people are put there for reasons. And I don't think it's good. I think it's to mislead people, And listen, I don't know enough about this to be talking about it. But hey, that's never stopped me before, goddammit. I just know and have heard that there is... excuse me, my throat's a little dry today, guys. That it's in Hollywood, LA. There's a big, a lot of people are into Satanism. There's a lot of Satanists, especially in like Hollywood and shit like that. Like people are actually practicing Satanism, you know, not like Marilyn Manson shit or whatever. Remember when everyone thought Marilyn Manson was the devil in 1998? It's like, no, it was Harvey Weinstein the whole time who was the devil. Not Marilyn Manson, good Lord. But anyway, if there are, let's say there is some sort of presence of Satanism in Hollywood, that means it will be injected into everything that comes out of Hollywood. You know, even if it's a small corner, that small corner, if they continue to make movies and shows and music and they, you know, to be in their club, to get signed with their label, whatever, you have to fit a certain mold. And what if that mold happens to be Satanism? That's all. And you don't think they try and spread that and then fucking, you know, a lot of Satanism is subliminal messages and numbers and symbols and all that shit. You don't think they'd put that out there and try and get people on board with it without even knowing? It's a cult, and more or less, you know. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if any of it's true, but I'm just saying if that is a possibility. And I do think it is. I've just have heard there's a lot of Satanism going on in Hollywood, and then they fucking, you know, they do their thing. They make their mark on the world in some way, shape, or form. But what do I know? What do I know? Maybe Monty's right. Maybe Monty is, in his way of thinking, is going, just accepting things at face value is the way to do it, you know? Because I drive myself crazy. Looking for all the undertones and the true meaning behind everything, because I can't take anything at face value, you know? At this point, I think I've gone too far down that road, because it's always like you got to figure out what people are, what their intentions really are, what they're really talking about, and who they really are. Because most people, at least in my world of comedy or whatever, a lot of them don't do that. It's all they, you know, you're trying to pretend, trying to appease people at all points in time, you know? And, yeah, and that's why, you know, all these serial killers and shit like that, they all like, oh, he went to church every day. It was like John Wayne Gacy, right? He was big into the church or whatever. And, you know, he's all presenting this very good and pure person on the outside. And meanwhile, he's fucking chopping kids' heads off and burying them under the goddamn porch. You know what I mean? Anyway, little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. We brought it back to not having gay sex. So how about that? Let's get you the animal video clip of the week and get you on your way, people. I hope we've had a little bit of fun today. I hope we had just a tidbit of fun. This video, what the fuck? Dude, I know Russia. I know we don't like Russia right now. I know we've always had issues with Russia. But Russians, but the people of Russia, the people of Mother Russia, good Lord, they seem like some pretty cool people. Fearless. I'm trying to figure out what it is with Russians that make them so likable to bears. Have you all noticed that yet? The bears love the Russian people, and the Russian people love bears. We're afraid of bears in this country, you know? I think a lot of Russians are afraid of dogs, though. But a bear is much scarier than a dog. But I'm always seeing these videos of Russians with bears and being friendly, you know? There's like a video of a dude with a Russian dude in a goddamn hot tub with a bear. Just chilling. You know? It's very confusing. But this one's great. This guy, this drunk Russian guy, he's got a bear. I don't know if it's his or if he just found it. But either way, he got a connection with that bear. And he decides he's going to go for a ride on the goddamn bear. Like the Kentucky Derby. We're bringing everything back together today, people. Good Lord. You know, he's riding that fucking bear like it's Seabiscuit. And then he just starts chugging vodka on the back of this bear while he's riding it. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Nothing bad happens to this guy. He's just riding a bear, chugging vodka. And if that ain't something, if that ain't a world we want to live in, we got to be making peace with Russia. I think that's the point. I think if shit really comes down to it, I think they're going to have a lot of bears they're going to send over our way. And we don't really know how to handle bears. the bears will definitely take care of the dogs. The first line of defense is going to be the dogs. The fucking bears will get through them, no problem. But I'm just saying, I know we love Ukraine, and I know we support them, and I know we want the best for them, and I know they're just good people. I know they're not a puppet state of NATO. I know that. I know there was no coup to put Zelensky into power. I know they're all good people, but I think, a bear can tell the essence of a person. And if a bear likes you, if a bear likes your whole population, I think that says something about the Russians that we're not really seeing or thinking about. We're still living in the Cold War days. We still have the Cold War perception of Russians, of these they're going to the moon or whatever the fuck they were trying to do. I don't know. I don't know why the war was cold. I don't understand. Fight the war in the summertime seems simpler. It's like, that Cold War was hell. It's like, well, you should have waited till April to do it, to start. You can't start a war in October and expect it to not be cold. Springtime, that's when you start a war. God, pretty simple. I should be a fucking captain of war. I should be the war captain. Because not only would I not fight wars when it's cold, but also I'd keep an eye on these fucking bears. And I don't think anybody's doing that. I think I'm the only one. I think I'm the only one concerned about this. I'm just saying, what are we going to do when the Russians come here with the bears? The fuck are we going to do? We're going to ride. They're not going to like us. They're not going to like us. They're going to be trained by the Russians. And it also makes me think, because bears are violent. They killed they killed Grizzly Man, Timothy Treadwell or whatever it was, They killed him and his lady. And he was nice to him. But I think the Russians got something else going on. I don't know. I think we should give Russia another chance, if for nothing else, to try and get some insight onto why these bears love these Russians so much. Maybe they just get the bears drunk, and then they can ride them, and the bears don't get too mad or something like that. I don't really fucking know. But anyway, great video. Very interested in the bond that Russians have with bears. Hey, thanks for checking out the podcast this week, everybody. Hope we had a little bit of fun. Real quick, May 17th, I'll be in Irvine, California at the Improv with Aaron Weber. Ontario, California, Thursday, May 18th, also at the Improv with Aaron Weber. The 19th, Big Apple Cafe, Murray, Kentucky, on my own. And then we got Ale Ray's Gastropub in Knoxville on the 28th of May. Monty Mitchell will be with me at that one. JoeKelleyComedy.com has the dates for the rest of the year, so go there and check that out. Hey, thanks again for checking out the podcast, everybody. Hope we had a little bit of fun. Do me a favor before you get out of here, all right? Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And I'll catch you around real fucking soon. Later. Ugly. Video, YouTube, what's up? What the fuck? How are you? Hey, I love you. Hope we had fun this week. This is a little bonus portion just for you guys here over on YouTube. Bonus portion of the podcast. These audio fucks, they still don't know this is going on over here. They think the podcast is over. But little do they know, fuck, we're still going, baby. We're still going. We're here. We're now. We're living in it. I hope you're doing well out there. All right? I don't have much else to say at this point. The bonus portion of the podcast is not, it's not super valuable, but I like to give you a little something extra for being over here on YouTube, And that's it. Maybe just extra thanks. That's all I'm giving you. But you ain't going to get that if you listen. You only get the extra thanks if you watch. All right? Hey, have some fun this week, okay? Get out there. Make the best out of life you can. And I love you. All right? Have fun.